Hundreds of thousands of Texans on unemployment are waiting to find out whether they will receive extra benefits from the state. President Trump ordered an extra $400 in weekly unemployment benefits, but he asked states like Texas to cover a quarter of the cost. Now the Texas Workforce Commission is looking closer at that order. Our State Bureau reporter Wes Rappaport has been digging into this to find out how it could affect Texans' unemployment payments.
Yeah, Josh, the state expected a floodgate of questions surrounding the president's announcement, and still at this point, the answer to many of those questions is, well, we don't know.
I don't know what's going to happen.
Semi-retired teacher Bill McCormack and his wife, a full-time teacher, both lost their jobs recently. The uncertainty of unemployment brings one word to the forefront.
Frustration comes to mind.
Congress didn't reach a deal on extending the $600 payments to unemployed Americans like the McCormacks, so those expired a couple of weeks ago. President Donald Trump moved this weekend to extend the program with smaller $400 payments and asked states to shell out $100 of those. The Texas Workforce Commission could not immediately answer where the state would get that funding, when it would be paid out, or if Texans would get the money retroactively back to when the previous benefits expired.
Is Texas in a position to pay out the additional money that the president has promised?
So at this time, we're looking at that presidential executive order. We're reviewing it, and we'll have to follow up with you on more information once we have that.
Since mid-March, more than 4.3 million Texans have filed unemployment claims.
The state's having enough trouble right now getting this thing to the solution.
Of the $24 billion Texas has paid out for unemployment during the pandemic, the Workforce Commission says more than $15 billion came from the program President Trump moved to extend.
I'm sure people are wondering how quick this can be implemented. We are working as quickly as we can to make that happen, and we will do so as soon as we can.
President Trump's executive order is expected to face quick legal challenges because the programs he's moved to continue require federal funding. That is controlled by Congress, Joe.
But without Congress, where is the funding going to come from for this executive order?
Well, President Trump laid it out in a White House memo, and he's ordered the money to come from the Department of Homeland Security's Disaster Relief Fund. That is money that the government taps into to pay for things like disaster responses, wildfires, and hurricanes. The president looking to seek $44 billion to come from that. That's more than half of that fund's balance.
Any word yet from state leaders on this issue?
Well, one of the things that state lawmakers have done specifically is reach out to constituents. Say if there is a problem, if you are experiencing an issue with the TWC and with this part of the process, to reach out individually to those representatives' offices. They are working on a similar process to try and funnel some information back up to the state, try and help folks on an individual basis.
All right, Wes, thank you very much. The COVID-19 outbreak in Texas forced thousands of childcare centers to close. We investigate what it would take to reopen centers and why some advocacy groups say it may never happen. A bumpy start to the school year blamed on issues with technology. It's happening to school districts around the state, what the governor plans to do to help. She's making history as the first black woman on a major party presidential ticket. But will Kamala Harris make a difference with Texas voters? We'll look closer at her impact on a tight presidential race.